heat to watch. It's going to be a lot of fun. Filipe Toledo, a former Bells champ, looking to win the Bell for the second time in 2025, up against a couple of rookies who are appearing here at Bells with the jersey on for the first time. J.Vaughan from the central coast of New South Wales, A.Cleland representing Mexico, first Mexican surfer on the championship tour, and a great character. And looking forward to seeing how he fares here. But it's going to be Joel getting things started here. Nice little swoop off the top. This guy's got some of the biggest airs on the CT, and he often brings them out in competition. It'll be tricky today though with the direction of this wind, but Joel's got a full crew down here to watch him perform, his dad and a cast of mates from that Central Coast region, as he just looks to drop over the ledge here and get a finishing turn. Nice start for J.Vaughan, who made a bit of a climb up the rankings. The whole crowd is intrigued to see perform out here. Hasn't had a fantastic start to the season by his standards. Still sits in a pretty good spot though, 11th position. But this is one of his favourite venues. Amazing performances that he's had here on the Bells Bowl. He's going to go down. He's only missed the quarterfinals a couple of times, Filipe. A victory, a third and a second. 3 quarterfinal finishes, as well as A.Cleland gets his first ride as well. No major highlights just yet from any of the 3 competitors, but Alan's going to try and change that on the final section. Solid hit.
But he is really explosive as well.
Yeah, I'll just waiting for this wave to open up. There you see him start to utilize that rail.
Oh.
Beautiful hit off the top. I mean, he's so powerful. You're always like just engaged in what he's about to do because he's so exciting. Just a heavy-footed surfer. This end section hit is one of my favorite of the day so far.
Oh. Yeah, it was really strong, the finish.
Going to ask you about that because Miguel's on fire and Alea loves a scrap, and those conditions kind of do play into that mindset sometimes of, you know, fighting it out. But you really did look like you were just having a nice free surf out there.
For sure, yeah. I mean, I feel like these conditions really suit me too. So I'm just trying to really focus on myself, and I feel like I'm doing some really great surfing, and just hasn't really come through for me so far this year. But I feel like I'm in great form, and I know that it's going to turn around at some point for me. So hopefully it's this event, and if not, then I'm just going to keep plugging away and keep going. But I feel really good, and I'm really excited for these next few heats. That was super nice just to get multiple opportunities and kind of just get to surf and not worry too much about strategy and stuff like that.
But always good to see how the competitors are prepping different approaches. But we had this wave during the break. Filipe Toledo, just the way he can hold that rail from the top of the bowl right down into the trough is always A.Cleland. Al's just picked off something. He just wants to back up that strong start. He had a 7 to kick things off. No one else has really done anything, and that's going to help his chances of turning in a great number, and goes all out on that last manoeuvre. Hangs on to it. Bounced around in the foam for a moment, but had the strength to get back to his feet, and again plugs the end section with a solid hit. Impressive. It looked like a sleeper, that ride, but it came to life midway through, which is sort of hard to do here.
He has just found an absolute gem here. It's like a second wave of the set. Nice big swooping roundhouse. Just hitting the brakes here. Just stalling, waiting for it to stand up again. Here's that opening section where he really blasts that first big pointing turn.
Wow.
And again, loses the fins, but somehow regains control. And then a big exclamation mark as it stands up again. Just pounding that final section. Beautiful technique here. Keeps control, lets go of that turn right at the critical moment so that he gets to this next more vertical turn here and completely breaks the fins free out the back of the wave. Full rotation there, an incredibly hard section to negotiate as that wave breaks behind you and regains control, does it perfectly.
The lip, and it's just after midday, and I'm guessing down there at the Stone and Wood Bar that they're cracking a beer, celebrating surfing like that. As we see Filipe now trying to get himself into this heat, and he needs a couple of decent numbers here. Not chasing a lot to get the second, but this is his break. This is where he wants to really make his mark and get himself back in a good rhythm. Here at stop 5, there's a clean finish. He loves the feel of that.
He needed to complete a ride and start to build a bit of pressure on J.Vaughan. A great projection floater there. And another one. Comes around this section, up and over the foam. Slingshots out of that with a ton of speed. Gets the roundhouse cutback through to this inside section. Patiently waits. And then gets the finish. And you can just see some emotion in there.
And you know what? I don't think he's thinking about A.Cleland at the moment.
No, he's absolutely not.
He's going, you know what, J.Vaughan, I'm coming for you. And he's done enough to get himself up in a second now, and Joel's got some work to do, needs a 5, 6, 8. It's a great thing. I mean, when you look at we've got a wave on the outside here, and it is Al on the attack again, throws everything at the first section. But when you look at each individual's year, you know, for a rookie, it might not necessarily.
He knows that he's going to get an earful from his coach, and yeah, even if you take away the win, there's always those little things where you can learn and improve as you march on through the contest.
Travelling with his old man up before the herder, Toledo. And this wave just looks like a bit of a burger. It's going to get away from him, but he did do enough to jump up into second position. Toledo, don't forget, had a board change as well. The kind of big head-to-head ones that these surfers tend to really bank on. But you're right, confidence builder. I think the scores are super impressive, an 8 and a 7. And some big, memorable individual moves thrown down. Toledo hanging on to that second spot.